Hey everyone, it is Karen Barnes Jefferson, squad leader of the Fab Fit Squad, and I want to welcome you to Fab Fit TV. So today today is just like this glorious day here in Boston, and right now I totally feel like I just want to like skip, I want to twirl. It's just, I never realized how much weather affected my mood, and it has affected it in a really, really good way. And so for my folks watching on Facebook Live, hey! So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Kim Barnes Jefferson, and I'm squad leader of the Fab Fit Squad. I'm a healthy lifestyle interventionist, and I work with women to help them break up with the yo-yo diet mindset so they can live a life of balance, peace, and harmony. So this show, Fab Fit TV, is all about how do you do that? How can you really make peace with food? How can you really, start to like working out? How can you really, when you have those moments when you look in the mirror and you're like, is this my life? How can you overcome that? And that's every week I pick a different issue, topic, something that you're talking about, something that I see on social media, something that I hear my clients or folks who take my class talk about, and I like to just bring it up and have that conversation. So today is all about confidence, and one of the things that I attribute wholeheartedly to my success, my ability to start my own business, my ability to do multiple fitness competitions, just my ability just to walk with and be comfortable in my own skin, is my fitness. It's my commitment to my fitness that has helped me to do more than just fit in my pants. It's helped me to be able to really take a bigger role in my own life and stop playing small, stop feeling uncomfortable with uncomfortable situations. Just really being able to get stuff done. And I attribute that wholeheartedly to my fitness. And one of the ways that I say that is the first thing that I can say, it's about achievement. So you set a goal, and imagine like when you set a goal, like, oh, I want to buy a house. Well, you just don't save 20% like that. You're not like you're spending years saving money. Then you're spending years finding the right place. And with your fitness, for some of us it's a long-term thing. Hopefully it's a long-term thing that you're always working on something. But you're able to see return a little bit faster. You're able to say, okay, I want to have more energy. And so you start to be able to pull out foods that drain your energy. We're able to add foods in that give you energy. You're able to see that, maybe when you went to go run a mile, it was painful and you're like, good God, I'm never doing this again. And then the more you did it, the more that mile became really simple, the more the mile became really easy. So, I want to kind of you to think about, it shows that you can achieve something if you just stay the course. It shows that you can achieve something if you just take one step in front of the other. And, I think what happens is so many of us try to future cast, I'm guilty of this, where I like to look at the end of the book, flip to the back of the book to be like, okay, I'm reading this, and what's going to happen at the back of the book? And I think so many of us have that guilt that we want to do that. We want to see what is at the end of the book, what's going to happen, is this storyline going the way I want it to go? Is this story worth me investing my time? And with fitness, if you set these short-term goals, I always tell my clients, sure, we're going to have our 30-day, 60-day, 90-day goals, but then we're also going to have a 2-week goal. So that what can you achieve in 2 weeks? Because when you see what you can achieve in 2 weeks, you're like, yeah, I only have 2 more weeks to my next milestone, 2 more weeks to my next milestone. So you feel you're motivated and you're invigorated to keep going. And I alluded to this before, you look great. Who doesn't want to look in the mirror and be like, how you doing, and flirt with yourself? Who doesn't want to, walk into their closet and have every single thing fit? Who doesn't want to, be able to just go into any clothing store and just buy whatever you want and everything just looks fabulous on you? Looking great is not vanity. Looking great, we're human. We want to look good in our own skin, and there's nothing wrong with that. And when you look good, you're just like King Kong on top of the Empire State Building. You're like, no plane is gonna take me down. I got this. That's how rock star you feel. And you know, when all that is happening, you got the achievement going, you're hitting goals. When you've got you're looking great. Your mindset is on lock. Your mindset is just like it's on snug. There's no negative committee in your mind saying you ain't got this, you don't look good. You are just like firing on all cylinders. Like you feel like as they say, in flow. You're feeling like so good. You're feeling like, oh my God, I can do this all day, every day, twice on Sunday. And when you have that mindset, you don't want to let it go. And it was a good friend of mine, we were talking about sales. And we were talking about sales and talking about commitment. And she was saying how fitness professionals, we're great with that mindset piece because we know what it's like just to visualize where we want to be. We know what it's like to set, imagine the end result. And a lot of entrepreneurs don't have that. And so it's that, that my commitment to my fitness has helped me with my mindset because, when I was doing fitness competitions, I would listen to the music and I would, in my head, know all the steps. And I would know, this is when I'm going to do this and this is when I'm going to do that. And even though I wasn't doing it in my head, I just knew where the marks were. And even now, it's been several years since I've done a routine. I hear a song that has been in a routine of mine, and I immediately am like, in my head, I'm doing pieces of the routine because I ran it over and over and over and over again in my head. So it's that mindset that keeps you going. It's a mindset that once you kind of start getting the achievement, you start feeling good in the mirror, you're like, what else can't I do? It's versus shrinking and being like, oh, that's for someone else. You're thinking your brain starts to fire because those feel good hormones come out when you are working out. The other thing about exercise, it's a place to be social. As we are adults, I think of it as an adult play date. Why do you think CrossFit is so popular? Why do you think those Tough Mudder type races are so popular? Because they've combined the social aspect around physical fitness. And so, I know plenty of friends who, belong to CrossFit boxes, and it's not because they want to kick their own ass in a workout. It's the it's the community around it that really makes you say, yeah, you can snatch your own body weight. You can squat your own body weight. You could squat a Buick. Everyone's around, they're cheering for you, and then it's going to be beer after. Why wouldn't you stay? And it's that social aspect. It's also that social aspect that will get you there. Some of us might not, I work out in the morning, so at 5:30 in the morning when that alarm goes off and it's a cold, snowy Boston morning, you might not want to get up. But if there's a community that will later on be like, hey girl, where were you this morning? Or in the evening, hey girl, where were you last night? You're more likely to go. You're more likely to commit. And you're more likely to stick with it if, one, you like the workout that you're doing and you like the people who go. It's a chance for us to bond. It's a chance for us to be social. The other thing that, is that exercise helps you reduce stress. And when you're less stressed, you feel more confident. When you're stressed out, the thought of, speaking up, the thought of doing anything is not anything. Your goal is just like, I just want to get home, lay on my couch and drink some wine and have some Ho-Hos. You're not thinking, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym where all my friends are and I'm just gonna be social. You don't feel that when you're stressed out. When you work out, you're able to mitigate some of that stress. You're able to, there is some rewiring that happens in your brain so that you might be able to think things through in a different way. And I know when I had my corporate job, I used to, when I had my corporate job, I used to go running by the river. And me and this other woman who worked in my department, we would go running by the river, and that was our way of mitigating our stress. It was our way of just like working through any problem that we were having. It was our way of just like getting away from the problem. And I don't say getting away from the problem in an escapist kind of way. I say getting away from the problem in a way that makes you not, that you're able to see it in a different light. That you're able to not be so, heads down in it, that you can't see the tree for the forest, if that makes any kind of sense. And then when you have no stress, you have a little bit more energy. When you have more energy, things look different. You're not being Eeyore. You're able to say, you know what, yes, I do want to go work out. Yes, I do, have the energy and stamina to finish whatever it is work project that you have. You have the vim and vigor to, want to go out and be with your friends, versus just going home and just sitting on the couch and Netflixing it, right? So, that's another way. When you have the energy, you have more confidence. When you have low energy, you're just like, I'm just trying to get through the damn day. And at the end of the day, it makes you, I just hit something. At the end of the day, there's a little touch screen and I touched it. At the end of the day, it makes you stronger. And when I say stronger, yes, absolutely, physically stronger for sure. But when I mean stronger, I mean mentally stronger. Is that you're able to tap into your training so that, you can remember that you didn't think you could lift 20 pounds as an overhead press. You didn't think you could squat 100 pounds. And then you do it and you're like, wow, you blew your own mind, right? So now when anything else comes up, you'll think to yourself, you know what, I didn't think I could, but if I try, maybe I can. And it's that trying that some people don't ever do that. I teach a group fitness class, and every week I always encourage my class, I'm like, get a heavier weight, just one heavier weight. And then some people do it, and then some people not so much. And I see the people who have faith and they trust that, like, you know what, Kim's here every week, I'm here every week, and she says I can do it. So I'm going to trust that I can. And so that's what I really want you to think about. I want you to trust that you can. Trust that you're able to do it. And it again goes to that mindset of achievement versus the mindset of, that tentative mindset of like, contemplating, where now with your fitness, you're more of an action taker. You're like, you know what, if I can squat 100 pounds, I can do blah, 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 blah. And, the other thing was, it is, you have better time management. I know that for me, I work out in the morning, and when I started, I had a 9-to-5 job. And so that required me to budget my time to be, okay, I was up at 5, I had to be to the gym by 5:30, and then I had to be out of the gym by 6:45 so that I could be home by 7:15, so I could be in the shower and out of the door by 8:15. And so that was my, that made me pretty regimented to get in and out, versus before, when I first started working in the morning, I would lounge in bed, I would snooze about 5 million times, and I wouldn't get out of bed till 7:30, 7:45, and then, race out the door. Where working out, forced me to get more organized, to get regimented with that, and not in a military regimented kind of way, more in a organized, so that I didn't race into the morning. It was more of a I got up and I felt good because I did something for myself, and it was really easy for the job that I had for me to go to work and then be told that, oh, I needed to get on a plane and go someplace else, or I needed to there was this emergency and I had to stay late and do it, and my plans for going to the gym after work were crushed. So that's what really forced me to work out in the morning. And now I still like to work out in the morning because for me, it sets the tone for the day. It sets the tone that I've taken care of myself, and then I can be there for my clients. I can, do anything because I've done one small self-care piece in the morning. And again, it still helps me with that time management. The other thing it also forced me to do is, I guess force isn't the right word. The other thing that I started doing was, planning my meals, being better with making sure I had lunch. So I wasn't scrambling and either not eating anything, or I was, eating out of the vending machine, like animal crackers and granola bars. Anybody else? Was that their diet? Every once in a while an M&M if it was a really bad day. Then I would, so both those things, my fitness helped me to, get my stuff together around, working out in the morning, helped me get my stuff together around menu planning. And, it also gave me something to look forward to, Yeah, we have vacations, but most of us get anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks of vacation. So how much, time off are you really getting? And so, it could be something as easy as a playlist. Excuse me. Easy as I put together a new playlist. It could be something as, I'm going to a new class, or I'm going to a new gym. I know that my husband and I on the weekends, we would work out at a different gym because after we could go out to, they had this health food restaurant that we could go out and have food there. And so that was our big thing. We'd like to go work out there on weekends. But just something that makes you look forward to it. You could be, maybe you go because your favorite instructor teaches a class. Maybe you get to go and work out with a friend. Something that it's the little things that you celebrate, little things that make you, giddy on the inside. And the last thing, it helps you to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. So I talked about, pushing your limits. So, did you think you could squat 100 pounds? And then boom, there you are, squatting 100 pounds. Did you think that you could run a mile in 5 minutes? And then boom, there you are running a mile in 5 minutes. So it's really you kind of going into uncharted territory with yourself, and then realizing that, I got more in me than I think was possible, right? Because you do. And so, those are all the things that I've used my fitness to do. And so I always tell people, it's all about finding that one thing, that one, I call it your domino. If you think about, if you ever seen a domino, this one domino and it has some crazy designs, and it's that one domino that just kind of makes everything fall apart. What's your one domino? And so many people give me 20 dominoes, but I was no, it's always just one domino. If you hit it, everything falls down. And I say it falls not in a bad way, but everything falls into place. So if you think to yourself, maybe it's your meals, maybe it's your workouts, maybe it's your mindset, maybe it's you're just you're stuck in a rut and you need some recipes. What I've done is I put together my birthday was on Sunday, and I put together a nice flash sale that ends tonight. And everything that I sell is just $9. And so if you go to my website, bit.ly/birthday49, you will find all of the products that I have for sale there. So it's just $9 and it ends tonight at midnight. So with that said, confidence, I'm a big fan of confidence. Confidence is what you use to feel free in your body. Confidence is what you use to feel comfortable. Confidence is what makes you stand with your shoulders back. Confidence is what makes you approach life with some gusto. And so starting on Monday, I'm doing a 5-day challenge, and it's really helping you to feel free in your body. And when you feel free in your body, just like I talked about, you feel like King Kong on top of the Empire State Building, just swatting around the plains and just going for what you know. And that's amazing. And so my 5-day to body freedom challenge starts on Monday. And if you would like to get in on that, you can go to bit.ly/freebody5. And that challenge will start on Monday the 17th, which here in New England it's Patriots Day. So if any one of you who are watching, you're running the marathon, good luck. God love you. Hopefully the weather isn't going to be like 80 degrees like it is right now. So thank you guys so much for watching today. You can always find the replay of the show on my website, fabfitsquad.com/live-tv. On the 25th of April, I will be back and I will be talking about the power of the one thing. I alluded to that one thing, but I'm going to really go into do a deep dive on that one thing so that you can understand how that one thing will really turn into like a lifestyle intervention, and how, for those of you who are like, I hate the word dieting. Diet for me is just, this is what you eat, not this is what your meal plan is and this is what makes or breaks you. And I really want to talk about how do you break free of the struggle, how do you break free of feeling like the diet failure syndrome, because diets fail, they all do. The goal is for you to figure out what works for you, to find the you diet, find your reality diet, and then, break up with the all or nothing, because all or nothing typically leaves you with nothing. So many of us say we can go, balls to the wall, but for how long? And then when you burn out, how long does it take you to get up off the couch? So it's really figuring those things out. So we're gonna really dive into how do you pick one thing, and then how do you make that your jam? How do you make that your jam until you've just nailed it and you're moving on to the next thing, and next thing you know, you're just kind of baby stepping. Whenever I use the word baby steps, this was an old movie. It was with Bill Murray and Richard Dreyfuss, and the movie was called What About Bob? And Richard Dreyfuss was a psychologist, and Bill Murray was the patient, and he was afraid of everything. And Richard Dreyfuss was just like, and Bill Murray was just kind of like that pain in the ass patient. And Richard Dreyfuss was just trying to get him out of his office. And he came up with this, he goes, you just need to learn baby steps. You just need to learn baby steps. And so I want you to think of that one thing as baby steps. And if you Google Bill Murray, What About Bob, you'll see the baby step YouTube clip, and it's pretty funny. So if you just think about your baby steps, and your one thing is your baby step, and so that one, step by step, domino by domino, you'll be on your way to living a healthy life. So that's what we're going to talk about on the 25th. So that's the end of the month, which is, gosh, April just flew by. So you guys can connect with me on Facebook. You can find me at Kim Barnes Jefferson Coach. And then you can also find me on Instagram at FabFitSquad. Or my website, fabfitsquad.com. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks.
gonna be fun.
Okay, you're getting the.
I gotcha.
Oh, you got me! You're fast.
Okay. Demo.
Okay. So.
Okay. Demo.
Sorry to bother you.
Creating large numbers of such sanctuary cities, plus sanctuary campuses and sanctuary religious institutions, will stop or at least slow the latest wave of deportations until the U.S. finally develops a more fair and rational immigration policy. That's not going to happen without popular support, and all too many Americans have not been provided with the information that will allow them to make an informed decision on the matter. Citizens who back slowing or stopping immigration do so because they believe immigrants steal jobs from Americans, don't pay taxes, and/or increase crime, positions that are not borne out by major research studies. But if they look more closely at what has actually happened on the immigration front since the early 1990s, there's every possibility that they would join a groundswell of support for progressive immigration policy. And for something else besides, support for strong labor legislation at the national and international levels. So it's imperative that nativist Americans begin to understand the structural crisis that led to the current situation. The biggest precipitating factor was a so-called trade treaty signed in 1994 by President Bill Clinton called the North American Free Trade Agreement.